Darkstorm.
Don't let Verandis change the subject. I can't trust any plan the elf comes up with if he doesn't reveal the whole truth.
I trust my father, no matter what. Lyris doesn't trust easily, and Gwendis' faith has been shaken too many times. Please.
I'm too mad to deal with this right now. Besides, you completed the entire journey. You tell Verandis what we discovered at each of those sites.
The others see conspiracies where there are none. Just past sins that I thought long buried. They say you found everything that Rodder wanted me to discover. Tell me about the Sundered Land, the Night Hollow's studies, and the secret of the Keystones. Remember the journey Rodder sent me on? The one you took in my place. It was to follow in his footsteps, to see how he reached this moment in time. The stone, it's a shard of oblivion lost in our world. How would that help him save the Grey Host? To see the void through Night Hollow eyes. Yes, it's written in the tongue of the first vampires. I can read it, but barely. In addition to other things, this is basically a spell book. It's full of rituals to appease and make use of the Dark Heart. Was the point to show me the inner workings of the mysterious dwarven keystones? We know Rodder used one to link the Dark Heart's power to not only the orrery, but to the Grey Host as well. I can feel the pull of the heart just thinking about it. What you discover doesn't tell us much about the Darkstorm, at least not yet. But the picture is beginning to form in my mind. Rodder's letter provided one more clue. He claims to have a laboratory inside this very structure. We just have to find it. It's true that Rodder often relied on myself and later Zingalis to handle his research and experiments. But he wasn't without his own skills when it came to arcana and alchemy. I suppose, during his long isolation, he had to increase his aptitude. Who would remain behind that could stand against Rodder? I fear that even together we would be hard-pressed to stop him. We'll need every advantage for the end battle, should it come to that. Perhaps if I can learn how to call upon the darkness. The darkness crashes against my mind like waves slamming into the shore. It can be distracting. I can function normally, with the occasional need to pause and let the sensation pass. I can't yet control the darkness, but I haven't been idle. Using my auramancy, I turned the magic on the orrery itself. I learned much about how the orrery operates. It is quite fascinating. I also ascertained the approximate location of Rodder's laboratory, but a more thorough search is required.
It's troubling to think Rada al-Saran may have been somewhere in this structure the entire time. Everything we've said and done in this chamber. He could have been privy to all of it. We should proceed cautiously.
If Rada al-Saran's hiding around here somewhere, we need to find him.
If Rada al-Saran's hidden a laboratory somewhere in the library of Arxand, I'll find it. I've had plenty of practice locating hidden laboratories.
Come, Ravenwatch, Titanborn. We can't let the specters of the past distract us from our mission.
Very well, Count.
I'll remain by your side as we search.
wish we had more to go on. I'm about to try my luck by swinging my axe into the walls.
Rodda has been working in secret for a very long time. I think we're getting closer. A moment. I sense Rodda has been this way. Rodda has been working in secret for a very...
I haven't had any success.
I'll admit, tracking down Arcasis' library was a lot simpler. I don't smell anything alchemical around here, just a lot of metal.
Careful! That Night Hollow vampire radiates with the power of the Dark Heart.
Vengeance for Lady Belay! Witness what a taste of the Dark Heart can do!
Rodda's laboratory. I see he's adopted Zingalis's methods. Yes, this is it. I can feel the echoes of Rodda's work here. Rodda has taken my research in directions I never imagined. Dwemer machines, Night Hollow rites, Reach witchcraft, all arrayed around that pedestal. Yes, I'm beginning to see how the pieces you retrieved fit together. He's building a bridge through the void. The Oblivion Shard serves as a lodestone to point to his destination, but Cold Harbor is precisely the place he would want to avoid. Rodda has always sought to escape Molag Bal's hold on his soul. Cold Harbor is the place where Bal's power is absolute. It makes no sense, unless Cold Harbor isn't his destination. Gather the others. We need to recreate Rodda's ritual. The components you
We'd be better served having old Mjolnir do this, but I think I can handle it. Once you start, I'll begin my part.
Oh, sure. You get to pull levers while I have to work some kind of dark magic with the forces of the void. That seems fair. Get on with it. The more I think about this, the less I want to do it.
Don't look at me. These hands weren't built to perform sensitive adjustments on dwarven machinery.
Now to begin, start by adding etheric power. Now, quickly. I need more kinetic power. Now, some tonal energy.
Reach ritual. It's catalyzing too quickly.
Quickly, help Fenorian. We're losing kinetic energy. I need more. Influx of etheric power. Wendis needs your help with the Night Hollow rite. Adjust the tonal frequency, quickly. We almost have it, just a little more. I'm losing control of it. Reduce the kinetic energy. The Night Hollow rite is surging. Help Gwendis. Tonal harmonics are in discord. Change the output. Fenorian, we'll need the alchemical reaction soon. Recalibrate the etheric power. It's too little. The kinetic mechanism is off balance. Set it right. Close. Help Gwendis with the Night Hollow rite once more. Catalyze the Reach alchemy now! Initiate a tonal cascade and hang on! I can see it. I can see everything.
That took a lot out of Verandis. I hope we got what we needed. Talk to him.
I've seen a lot of things, but never anything like that. See if the Count learned anything useful.
As fascinating and exhilarating as that was, I'm worried about Count Verandis.
Rodda found it. A piece of land sundered from the Reach, caught between Mundus and Oblivion. It is both and neither, outside the grasp of Bhaal, or any prince for that matter. He plans to gift the Grey Host with his sanctuary. Don't you see? In their own realm, free from Molag Baal's tyranny, the Grey Host can live forever. And with the connection to Mundus and the power of the Dark Heart, their conquests might never end. And now I see the purpose of the Dark Heart. Rodda's drawing on its power. I can feel it tearing away. To the orrery. Hurry. To the orrery. Hurry. Rodda! Stop! Don't make me fight you!
This is the chance you never thought possible. The door to our salvation stands open, Verandis. Come, finish what we started. All will be forgiven.
Rodda, don't do this!
The void energy is consuming you, Verandis. I can show you how to control it. Just follow me.
Where'd the bastard go this time?
He's gone, Lyris. To the one place where he can complete his plan. I understand it all clearly now. Rodda has opened the gateway to his sanctuary. In that distant realm, he can summon his Darkstorm using the power of the Dark Heart. He'll consume the No. Not good at all. The Darkstorm requires power on an unprecedented scale. Darkness that will cover the Reach and send every mortal soul it touches into the Dark Heart. In turn, the power of the Heart will flow through the orrery to feed the storm. It will tear the Grey Host from Molag Baal's clutches and preserve them for eternity in his sanctuary realm. Death will become as much a petty inconvenience to them as to any Daedra. They will become truly immortal. To end the Darkstorm, once it's begun, Rodda showed us the door, and we forged the key. I have to follow. I have to stop the Darkstorm, for as you have seen from Rodda's auramancy, Rodda has started the ritual. shall remain here.
What? No way!
Someone must keep the orrery in operation. They give me an earful when we return.
I'm holding you to that. Understand?
I can almost understand it. Rada al-Saran's desire, I mean. The unpleasantries of living with this curse have haunted me a long time. The thought of what awaits me in the afterlife fills me with no less dread. Anyone would seek an escape. I'd be lying if I said no. But the price of salvation is too high. Rada al-Saran will doom thousands of souls to fates worse than death so that he and his chosen can escape. I don't need an eternity with that on my conscience. You and my father will see this through. I know it. Just come back, all right? You both still owe me a proper reunion. I'll do all I can to keep the orrery in alignment. I don't know how long it can sustain this. I don't believe it was designed to have this amount of power coursing through it. I'm fairly certain the dwarves built this as an observatory to chart the void. What we're doing is more akin to plunging a telescope into a fathomless depth, so we can slip through the tube without getting wet. Let's hope it doesn't spring a leak.
This is it then. Everything that happened in Windhelm, Solitude, and Markarth. It all leads to this. To Rada al-Saran. More than ready. I've sworn my blade to thrones and causes, but my blood and bones are Nord. If Rada al-Saran thinks he can ravage my homeland and get away with it, he's about to be very wrong. Besides, who else is gonna watch your back? Trying to scare me off? I know what we're getting into. But if we do get stuck in some lost realm of oblivion, I could think of worse company. Now, let's stuff the talk and kill this bastard. Can't say I'm looking forward to another romp in oblivion. I've seen enough of the place for 10 lifetimes. Let's make this a quick trip, all right? Every place I've visited in Oblivion has been different. Chains and machines for Molag Bal. Endless libraries for Hermaeus Mora. Each realm shaped by its prince. But Rada al-Saran shows a place beyond their reach. Guess we'll soon.
You're really just going to hurl yourselves through the void and hope for the best? I was really hoping Varanus had something tricky up his sleeve. I guess there's nothing left to do but smack Rada al-Saran in his self-righteous face. You just bring Varanus back. Promise me. I know that. Would it kill you to offer me a little reassurance? Promise or no promise, I'm counting on you to bring him home. Well, this is it. The portal that leads to Rada al-Saran, to the Darkstorm, and to the end of all this. Whatever that is. Now you sound like Varandas before a trip. I swear not to wreck the place while you're gone. And if the Grey Host shows up to start trouble, I'll stop them from wrecking it too. So get going already before I change my...
We are about to travel into the unknown. Take a moment, speak to our companions. Make whatever peace will calm yours. No. Nothing else needs to be said. I have worked all my life to atone for the hubris of my first years as a vampire. Rada went to great lengths to remind me of my damnation. And I still can't control the darkness racing through my blood. I may not be able to do what must be done. Those words keep returning to haunt me. They never fail to make me feel foolish, both for having said them and for doubting them. Things may look hopeless from here, but there may be a better vantage on the other side. Only one way to find out. The portal into the Dark Heart stands open and waiting. That's just as ready as I can be. I don't have the luxury of walking away this time. Let's get moving. The more active the Dark Heart becomes, the harder it is for me to concentrate. It's like a constant barrage of noise I can't hear, but I can see.
I expect you back before Fenorian gets bored. Don't make me come in there after you.
We shall endeavor to return shortly. Farewell, my friends.
Are we leaping into the gaping portal or not? You bastards! There you are. Damn shades are everywhere. Where's Verandis? You don't know how glad I am to see you. Thought I might have been the only one to make it to this ugly hunk of rock. You're the first thing I've seen aside from those shades. They aren't tough, but they'll overwhelm you if you aren't careful. You and I should be fine, but Verandis won't last long on his own. Not in his... Rada al-Saran's sanctuary realm, I hope. Doesn't look like much, but it's got more charm than Cold Harbor. It does kind of remind me of Molag Bal's realm, though. That's probably the plane it was melding with before it got stuck between worlds. In the sky. That must be the Dark Storm. It must lead to Rada al-Saran. Let's follow the storm. Hopefully.
Rada, stop! I don't want to fight you!
Look at you, Verandis. The Dark Heart is overwhelming you.
You hear that? Voices in the storm.
I won't do as you...
Will you really embrace death and damnation just to spite
Verandis
me,
is in
old
trouble.
friend?
We have to hurry.
Rada,
I forgive you, Verandis. You didn't turn your back on our dream. You lost hope. That is my gift to you. I can save you.
Don't you do it, Count. Don't you dare.
Not even Molag Bal can threaten us here. The Grey Host will be an unstoppable force. Nothing will be beyond our reach.
Rada, your dream was never mine. It ends here.
Verandis, we are nearly free. Verandis! Join our forsaken kin in Molag Bal's teeth, you traitor! Watch, Verandis, as I destroy everything you cherish.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy this, you bastard! Watch out, partner!
I'm going to save you. This is the sword that split Letty's blade reforged in bitter blood. You will taste it soon. I'll draw the boundaries of my kingdom with your blood. Soon your blood will run as cold as my own. You are fit to die by this blade. This is the best you could muster, Verandis. What to take first? An arm? An eye?
Stay away from that magic!
Pity you. How is it you aspire to be drowned in the blood of your betters? I'll draw the boundaries of my kingdom with your blood.
Keep your distance!
And soul as one.
Keep your distance!
You possess all the skill of a child. What to take first? An arm? An eye? A frigid death is more merciful than you deserve.
Let all you guts leech!
You'll never win through brute force. We need a new strategy. Strike down more of the Grey Host. I have a plan.
Lord calls you to serve.
Their souls to the Dark Heart. I can use this power. Slay more of the Grey Host to fill it! All of the souls are collected and must be released! I've woven a trap! Bring Radha to me!
against me. Come, my brothers and sisters, devour them!
Still need more souls to summon the soul trap. Keep at it!
Sometimes this power almost feels worth the price I paid.
Ready in a moment. Bring Rodder to the soul trap.
Raise your hand to me?
I'll need more souls to cage Rodder again. Continue to... A few more should do the trick. Don't let up!
Millennia will not be stopped by the likes of you. How can you turn the Dark Heart against me? March, my legion, and win your salvation.
Keep sending souls to the Dark Heart. We're almost there. The Grey Host to fill it. About to summon the soul trap. Get ready. Rodder will be vulnerable.
Enough of your pointless defiance.
dancing with her mocking blade.
Goodbye, Rhoda. I wish I could have found salvation for us both.
Ah! The Darkstorm rages. I must take control.
It will kill you!
If I don't stop the Darkstorm, then my death will be the least of our worries. Gods, this power! It's everything Rodda said it would be. I see. I can't end the Darkstorm. Not yet.
Feels like I got stepped on by a mammoth, but I guess that means I'm alive. What's going on?
You and Lyris must go. While I still possess the power of the Dark Heart, I can open a gateway to the orrery. Return home. I can only control the Darkstorm from here. I understand now what must be done to stop it. I can use the power of the Dark Heart one last time. When I am finished, the energy will be gone, and our gate to the orrery will be closed. You understand? Not any that can make everything right. I brought about this tragedy through my naivete, through my selfish desires, through my damn ideals and curiosity. It's my time of reckoning, not yours.
Feels like I got stepped on by a mammoth, but I guess that means... Damn. I take back every bad thought I had about the Count. He's got conviction to match Sai Sahan's. We should go while he's still got the strength to send us back.
This is farewell.
I don't want to owe you, Verandis!
Have faith. Rodda's last gift was hope.
You're back. But where's Verandis?
He's... staying behind. I'm sorry.
He's staying? No. He promised. He promised me.
It was the only way to...
Look out! The Dark Heart! It's dormant. Verandis must have done it. He stopped the Darkstorm.
Arana?
I can breathe. I'm alive? I'm no illusion. Flesh and blood. Alive as can be. I can't say myself. I remember being here, in this room. I remember the wound. Then nothing but a cold, icy current dragging me under. I drowned for so long. Until a warm hand fished me out. I couldn't see. Everything was just warmth and light. There was a voice, though, guiding me, calling me back. It sounded like Verandis. As I live and breathe, it was Verandis who led me here. I don't understand much of what occurred, but of that, I'm certain. That, and I didn't come back alone. There were a great many others drowning in that icy current. I'm certain I wasn't the only one pulled ashore. It's just a feeling, but a strong one. want to see if that feeling speaks true. Markarth. That's where the spirits call me now. I have no fondness for the place, but that's where my people need me. You did what you thought was best, and the price I paid has been returned. None of us could have imagined this is where our path would lead, but I've no complaints with the outcome. No complaints at all.
Look, the Dark Heart. It's dormant. Was that Verandis' doing or that woman's? You don't have to explain. I know you would have brought him home if that were possible. This is how it had to be. I would like to hear the story sometime. Just not today. I got to say goodbye. There was so much more I wanted to say to him. But at least there was that. I need some time, but I'll carry on.
I don't understand. Arana, she was dead, wasn't she? What's going on? Verandis is gone. Arana gets to live, but he doesn't. Is that it? How is that fair? You were supposed to bring him back. Just get away from me. Leave me alone.
Did I hear you right? Verandis brought that woman back to life? Not just raised her from the dead, actually restored her body and soul? Was that what the Count meant by making it right? He didn't just stop the Darkstorm. He used it to free the souls from the Darkheart. We've got to get to Markarth. Isn't that where Rada al-Saran harvested souls for the Darkheart? If Verandis released them all, maybe Arana's right and she didn't come back alone. That's something we should see for ourselves. You go on ahead. Fen and Gwendis could use a moment. I'll make sure they make it to Markarth safely. Just bringing one person back should be impossible, sort of divine intervention. But we saw the Grey Host manage it more than once. If the Darkstorm was anything like the Harrowstorms in Western Skyrim, it just might be possible.
Just go, please.
There were a great many others.
I hope you're right. If Father managed to undo some of the harm the Grey Host caused, I know he'd be at peace with himself.
None of these weak strangers could face a true Reach challenge.
I was hoping to catch up. You hear that? Markarth is celebrating. That magnificent bastard really did it. He brought them back. The Count enjoyed his mysteries, but yeah, I think so. When we started this, I thought the best we could do is pay Al-Saran back for the lives he stole. Guess I should have set my sights higher. We rest. With Rada Al-Saran dead, the Grey Host is finally buried for good. We couldn't have done it without you, partner. So eat, drink, find some company for your bed. Tomorrow, we'll probably have to do this all over again. It may seem odd coming from a Nord, but I'm glad to see all these Reach folk alive and well. They seem content, but I'm sure they wouldn't mind us bringing them a few more reasons to celebrate. News of Rada Al-Saran's death won't compare to the dead returning to life, but I'm sure Kadik will be relieved to hear it. You find the Ard and let him know there's nothing to fear from the Grey Host anymore. Tell him he has Verandis to thank. Why spoil the mood? I think I'm going to take a moment. I haven't done that since Fenorian and I arrived in the Reach. Just fine. Even the great Lyris Titanborn needs a rest sometimes. Don't tell anyone. Why spoil the mood?
Look! Can you believe it? There's life to the keep again!
Ha! That's your doing, isn't it? The Ard seems to think so. He'll want to see you. He's holding an audience in his war room right now.
What's this about a war room?
Ah, you're here too, Titanborn. You come with me. I have a message for your ears alone.
Fine. But if this is Caddock's idea of a joke, you won't find it funny.
Good to see you alive and well. Well, it's good to see everyone alive and well. I don't know to what gods we should be giving our thanks, but I wager we all owe you a good portion. We owe you for delivering Malakath's vengeance to that toothy bastard. Where is Count Verandis? I'd like to give him my proper thanks. He what? I cannot find my words. I don't know whether to mourn his loss or celebrate what he gave us. You should tell the Yard. He'll want to pay respect of his own, I'm sure.
You go on and speak to Caddock. I'll see what's so important that your friend here has to tell me, and I imagine the only message the Ard wants to share with me is of the unflattering variety, so I have no idea. Maybe the Skald King sent word? When I know, you'll know.
We are agreed. If Eastern and Western Skyrim can put aside their differences in the face of the Grey Host, then the Reach can do so as well. Come forward, Freehand. No need to bow for the sake of kings.
Thank the gods we have better matters to attend to than the deployment of troops and suspicions of treachery. For a man called Despot, the Ard is in an agreeable mood. But that's not your concern. It's good to see you once more. Truthfully, Svanna, when we learned that Markarth suffered an attack like the one you narrowly prevented in Solitude, she insisted that we offer aid, ostensibly to stop the Grey Host. But it seems we're a bit late for that. No doubt. They have proved very skilled at keeping to the shadows and biding their time. Hunting them down will not be easy, but I feel that's not how best to make use of the opportunity we've been given. The Grey Host's greatest weapon against us was our mutual mistrust. They preyed on our suspicions and fears, used our division to pick us apart one by one. The best way to prevent that from happening again would be to build trust and cooperation. An accord at least. It's a step in the right... Trust takes time to build, but we must start somewhere. I couldn't have done it without Svanna. Jarl Svanna. Watching her put aside past differences between... Well, yes, I do. She's a striking woman. A figure. Leader, yeah. She's won many hearts and minds in the short time she's been a Jarl. I think that speaks more to her esteem than my praise. Western Skyrim would do well to put her in charge. He doesn't want another war on his hands, and the Western Holds still desire their independence. Skyrim won't be united by force, but with more days like today, the province may one day be whole, no matter how many kings claim it.
Looking for another adventure, my friend? You need to learn to relax for a while. Eat, drink, find a companion. Life's too short for anything else. This business with the Grey Host is far from over. As long as Skyrim is threatened, I will be close by to lend a hand. The Reach is far from everyone's holdings. This Grey Host business started with me, though, and I always intended to see it through to the end. Thankfully, we prevailed this time. I have no desire to replace a despot. Haven't these people suffered enough? In any event, my forces are stretched too thin to take on much more. If the people request help, however, I will put whatever resources I can at their disposal.
You seem more comfortable standing among kings and jarls than I do. Then again, you always did. It's good to see you again. Western Skyrim has begun to recover. With Fenn's elixir, our soldiers have been able to push back the Grey Host. I know the Reach has not been so fortunate. I persuaded Prince Ernskar and the Skald King to offer our support. I expected we'd be sending soldiers, but by the time we arrived, the people were dancing in the streets. I always heard stories of the City of Stone being a dark place where flint-hearted Reachmen worship strange gods. It's not so different from home. The people seem happier than I've ever seen, in spite of all our hardships. I wasn't the only one living under my father's shadow, apparently. I can't come and go as I please, but the Blue Palace is lively as any tavern with Mog around. Made him my royal taster. I don't think the thought of being poisoned even crossed his mind, but he seems happy so long as the food and drink keeps coming. Unofficially, he's also the jester, but don't tell him I said so.
If you'd said only yesterday I'd play host to Nord rulers from across all Skyrim, I'd have told you the dead would live again before that happened. And here we are. A day of miracles! Tell me truthful, you had a hand in all this, aye? Alas! The monster that nearly brought my lands to ruin has paid the price for his wrongs. I could ask no more. And yet that which was taken has been returned as well. Where is Count Ravenwatch, if he thinks to escape my gratitude? Then his name and deeds will echo these halls for as long as I sit upon the throne, which will be a while yet, thanks to you both. And so long as these Nords are good to their word. I've no idea what peace is like, but I'm eager to find out. We treat for peace. Our battles with the Grey Host have ravaged all our kingdoms and peoples. We each seek to rebuild and recover. Perhaps we'll do so together. At least we'll keep out of each other's way. Before we proclaim, I have a favor to ask. I've need of a counselor. In spite of her treachery, Lady Boleyn was a canny advisor. I need that again now, more than ever. Tell the witch, Arana, that I will offer her my ear, if she will share her wisdom. I hear she's recently arrived to Makeep. I suppose so. Can't just lop off her head after she got it back. Wouldn't do for morale. Unless she's determined to keep up her fight with me. I'm willing to put the past to rest. Besides, I already made peace with the rest of her rebels. It's a worthy holdfast, but not so much a city. I would have the land worked, the stone repaired, and the markets expanded. These are not things my kin have much knowledge in, but perhaps the Nords will share their trade for the right price. Well, they're a fair lot more agreeable than the she-wolf you travel with. Have the sense to show deference to a king in his own hall. Though I heard enough honeyed words from the Lady Boleyn for one lifetime. The fat one thinks himself a poet.
My ears are burning. Is that my name on the wind? Not even this gloomy old stone keep can dampen my spirits. My dreams hold true. Markarth is alive with joy. But you didn't approach to listen to me. What is it you wanted? I'm barely foot to stone and he's clamoring for my attention. I had no mind to stand by a throne when I first started my journey. Now, here we are. The Reach has suffered so much. I want to help restore the land. Aye, I'll serve. I can speak for myself. You have more important matters to attend to. There's a friend who's journeyed a long way to thank you personally for all you've done. 'Twould be rude to keep him waiting. There's an out-of-the-way chamber in the rear of the keep where you can meet. Now, I should find the Ard and make sure he thinks before he speaks. I can, but I won't. I'm enjoying the suspense. Off with you.
I'm sorry to have kept you waiting, my friend. Do forgive my ghastly appearance. It seems I spoke too soon when I bade you a final farewell. I'm glad to have the opportunity to see you again, my friend. None of this would have been possible without you. As did I. When I took hold of the Darkstorm's power, I believed it would be the last thing I ever did. It was a force no mortal hands should wield. Still, with it, I was able to draw the souls out of the Dark Heart, return them to where they belonged. No, as the last of the Dark Heart's power ebbed away, I should have been trapped in Rodda's sanctuary realm. But I was forced out. Pushed, I'd say. I fell into the darkness of the slumbering heart. Then I emerged from it, like a moth from a cocoon. My soul became part of the Dark Heart, smelted inextricably into the fabric of its existence. So long as it remains dormant, its hold over me is tolerable. But I am bound to it nonetheless. If I am to be wed to this power, then I must ensure that it never gets used again. For that to happen, both the heart and I must fade into obscurity. House Ravenwatch will carry on without me. Arana will send them here to receive the news soon. I have no regrets. You gave me the opportunity to reckon with my past and pay penance. This journey has brought closure to the life of Count Verandis Ravenwatch. I have a fresh start. As do we all. The kings are soon to speak. You should be there. I have no idea what the future holds, but you seem to be the axis upon which this world turns. If it still has some use for me, I'm sure our paths will cross again. Until then, my friend.
Arana said they'd be this way. Come on.
Father!
They said you were gone.
I was, and I will be again. We have much to discuss, but I will not be returning to House Ravenwatch.
But who will...
You three have no more need of a guardian. It's time I put the future of the Ravenwatch in your hands.
But you'll still visit, right?
Every chance I get.
I don't know what I expected when Arana said there was someone waiting to see us, but I thought he was gone. I don't think there's anything left that could surprise me today. Forget I said that. Better not tempt fate. No, I don't mean to give the wrong impression. It's all just a bit much. Maybe I should sit down. Did he really say he wants us to take over the Raven Watch? Right. I didn't imagine it. The truth is, we were already considering the future of the Raven Watch after you returned without Verandis. It seems that will bear further discussion. But I'm relieved that the circumstances are different. Your vote of confidence is always encouraging. Gwendis could use some of that as well, I think. Have a word with her, won't you? You're to endure as much of the cheer and praise as the Ard and his people can heap upon you. And you're to have absolutely nothing to do with evil vampires for at least, I don't know, a day? Think you can manage that, recruit? Remember, you're representing House Ravenwatch now. Consider this a diplomatic mission. I believe the Ard was calling for you when we spoke to Arana. He was headed to the audience chamber with the other rulers, last I saw.
Here and gone, here and gone. It's cruel to play with a girl's heart like this. But I'm glad Verandis kept his promise. Ugh, I'm having too many feelings right now. Great, terrible, everything in between. I've waited so long for Verandis to stop hovering over my shoulder. But I never thought it would be because he's not around. I realized something, though. When you and Lyris told me he wasn't coming back. I can't shed tears for him. It's not what he needs from me. He needs someone to carry on after him. To do the work he can't anymore. So that's what I'll do. Keep his legacy alive. Somebody has to keep tabs on all those pesky vampires. Don't think it's just Verandis I expect to visit. It'd be nice bumping into you somewhere other than a moldy cavern once in a while. Castle Ravenwatch is always open to you. It's not like we have a shortage of guest rooms. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to give Verandis an earful. I think I heard the Ard calling for you when we were talking to Arana. They're making some proclamation in the audience chamber. Better not miss your accolades.
Adusa heard that Verandis had been imprisoned in the Void, but he's here. Forgive me. This one is glad to see you, Five Claw. Your help at Reachwind Depths was much appreciated. Without your assistance, Cathad would still be in the deep tombs. There was a time when this one felt more like a nursemaid than compatriot to those two. But Gwendis and Fenorian are no longer helpless kittens. Count Verandis need not worry. Adusa stands firm. House Ravenwatch will endure. House Ravenwatch has a long and noble tradition. This one will run the estate in Count Verandis' absence. She has done so before. As for the Ravenwatch, our work will continue. Gwendis is coming into her own, and Fenorian shows promise. Cathad has much training to complete before he can take his place as a fully functional member of the Ravenwatch. Oh, he has the skills and the proper outlook, but he needs time to hone those abilities and learn our methods. He will work out well.
Now, I must bid farewell to my beloved wards. I have never been comfortable with goodbyes, but I should realize by now that they are rarely forever. I won't be joining the festivities, but rest assured, I will be watching. I have no idea what the future holds.
I thought you might enjoy a welcome surprise for once, Snow Lily.
Oh, sigh. You always know how to... Oh, hello, partner. Didn't expect you'd find me here. Thought this spot was a little more private. This is Sai Sahan. He's a friend. A close friend. We used to travel together with Emperor Varen before things went horns up. Brayden said there was a strange red guard looking for me. When I laid eyes on Sai, I didn't know whether to punch him or hug him. It was quite the surprise, but not a bad one. We've got a lot of catching up to do. I'd say being home has been nice, but you know I'd be lying. The Skald King owes me some rest. Think we'll take our leave of Skyrim and spend some time free of obligations. Always wanted to go back to Skingrad. People like us can't stay out of trouble very long, so let's share a few casks of mead while things are quiet. Oh, Caddock's looking for you. He and the other rulers want to make some big announcement. I'll be along in a moment. I haven't, but I'm sure you can keep them busy for a while longer. Right, partner? Sai and I still have a few dents to bang out of my armor.
Well met, Harrier. Too many people here for my liking, but I guess it's understandable. We've seen some dark days of late, but it's good to see the sun come out again.
You're the one who killed Rada al-Saran, who helped stop the Grey Host? I had no idea. You should have told me. You're a legend. Hard to say. Adusa Daro has begun my training, but there's only so much we can accomplish out here in the Reach. She says we'll be heading to Rivenspire soon, so I can train in Ravenwatch Castle. And I met Gwendis and Fëanorian. They welcome me. Adusa says they're my sister and brother now. Fëanorian seems nice enough, if a little too scholarly for my taste. Gwendis, however, she's intense. None of my actual siblings ever looked at me the way she does. It's disconcerting. If you say so. Hopefully, once I prove myself, they'll accept me as a true member of the family. In the meantime, I'm trying to remember everything Adusa tells me. I want to make sure she never regrets coming to my aid. Or you either, my friend.
Welcome to the Ravenwatch. I suppose that makes me your superior now. I'll try not to let it go to my head. I actually have your first assignment, if you're ready. You're to endure and...
Don't think it's just Verondus I expect to visit. Now, if you'll excuse me...
Never thought I'd set foot in Markarth except to conquer it. Strange times. Strange, but not entirely unpleasant. Still, I'll not get comfortable here. Too much dwarf workings and old stone. May as well live in a barrow. My hold endures, as we always have. Though we might not have weathered the Hera storms without that elixir Fenorian and old Nyolan concocted, they still threaten the countrysides. But we can fight free of the fear that we'll be made monsters. Better, much better. There's still a pall that hangs over her to the rest of the townsfolk. But at home we're beginning to feel more like a family again. She even smiles now and again. You've got enough arse-kissing to endure, but I'm grateful.
In all my years, I have neither seen nor heard of such a miracle as you've delivered today. You must have Shore's own bond with Mother Wolf for her to carry so many lost pups back here. This old woman not important enough to merit an invitation, is that it? If you must know, Svanna asked me to counsel her on the Reach, but I'd have come whether I was invited or not. Can't trust such important matters to the likes of kings. That I have. Many times during the vast span of my life, though not in some years. The city never changes, only the occupants. Perhaps that will change now, should this peace hold. I should think this whole affair taught you that nothing lasts forever. But it seems to me the people are ready for this peace. I don't think it'll crumble easily so long as ambitious fools aren't permitted to chip away at it.
Good work, partner. It's always a pleasure to fight by your side. Forgive me for saying this, but I hope we don't need to do that again for quite some time. Good work, partner. I haven't, but I'm sure you can keep them busy for a while longer. Right, partner?
Don't let us keep you. We'll manage to keep each other company while you take your well. I heard that Lyris was investigating some sinister plots in this province. Were it not for other obligations no less dire, I would have rushed here sooner. I envy you. There's nothing I would have liked more than to battle a sword saint by her side. Rada al-Saran was an Ansei of great renown, a legend to rival Leki herself. The sword saints are a lost legacy to my people. It's a shame that al-Saran did not devote himself to restoring that honorable tradition instead of his monstrous Grey Host. Lyris has offered to show me some of the more intact barrows in the Reach and Western Skyrim. These sites are tied to ancient dragon cults. Dragons are something of a hobby of mine.
Finally.
Go on! My witch beckons. Just make it quick.
The Ard's eager to announce our peace agreement.
Whenever I see you, I know that Skyrim is in good hands.
Understone Keep is strikingly different from the Palace of Kings. I can say that much for it. All this dwarven architecture is suffocating, and I find the little machine noises that carry through the halls unnerving. I wouldn't get much sleep here.
Not a moment too soon. Kadak's eager to demonstrate that he's the equal of any Nord king. He hopes it will legitimize his claim as king of the Reach. He's not wrong, but he'd look more a fool if I weren't here to keep his temper on a leash. That I am. It's a new dawn. For me, for Markarth, for the Reach. After all you've done to bring it back from the brink of oblivion, putting up with Kadak's arse-headed notions is the least I can do to make sure it wasn't wasted effort. Let's not stretch the bones of reason. There'll be no shortage of bickering and cursing in our future, but there's trust. So long as we both want what's best for the Reach, that'll do. Best to see him now, I can see him casting glares our way.
Fair adventurers. Come and go as you please. Keep 3 kings and a jarl biding on their thumbs in a crowded hall. Suppose you've earned that right, Rover. Near everybody in this room wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Simply put, I like that. In doing what needed doing, you brought all the crowns of Skyrim to one hall. You put the Grey Host back in the ground, and you gave us clear skies. At last, we can see where we must go. Take this with all our thanks. Free hands of Markarth, you long-suffering lot, I call my kin. We've survived another long night, darker than we've ever known. But we did nae endure it alone. Against the Grey Host we found unlikely allies, and put aside old grudges. Together, we not only survived, we flourished.
We owe these miracles to the efforts of all kinds. Breachman, Nord, Vampire, Outlander. Heroes of every stripe. Let us follow their example. We have warred together. We celebrate together. Let us rebuild together.
From this day forward, we clash mugs instead of swords. Peace and prosperity to all our kingdoms. Cheers to the heroes of Skyrim.
Let us remember them with song and drink. We, the children of Skyrim, we shall endure.
It still doesn't feel real to me. So much has happened since we first met that it feels like a lifetime ago. The nightmare is finally over, though. I know I won't wake up to find everything as it was, but there's a new dawn at least. Prince Ernskar is eager to lay out the terms of our new accord, but that's tomorrow's work. After this, my only order of business is to get out of this damned finery. It may be good for impressing folk, but it's like wearing a mountain goat.
I cannot think of a time or a tale where a Reach folk and Nord extended a hand to one another unless each was holding a dagger. This may be the first time such a thing's occurred. May it not be the last. Much as anything can, stone crumbles, forests burn, even Daedra die now and again. This life's a struggle. The only thing that's changed is what we struggle against. The peace. Aye. We've trod in circles with blood and rage clouding our eyes for as long as anyone can remember. But just now, we've glimpsed a new path of this endless trail of suffering. Peace is on the horizon, and we're for it now, with all we've got.
We may be a divided nation, but in our hearts we are all Nord.
I think that went well, don't you? I thought it would be best to keep the speeches short. I'm just glad my father agreed to let me take the lead. I don't know that the Ard has the patience for one of the Skald King's epic toasts. After years of saber-rattling, we need to start learning how to be good neighbors. How will we trade goods? How will we resolve disputes? Jarl Svanna and I are resolved to lay a foundation that our diplomats can build upon, however long it takes us. Right, the Ard. I think it might be best for Svanna and I to work closely on a framework first, and present it to Ard Kadak. He's got a lot going on, and I'm sure he'd rather not spend hours debating every detail.
The spirits must have plans for me, Harrier. Why else put me back here in the Reach? I'll help keep Ardkatic out of trouble for a while. After that, we'll see. It's strange to say, but I don't want to think too far ahead. After everything that happened, I want to relish the present moment. Help Katic, my people. Just enjoy the time I've been given. You should try it, Harrier. Do you a world of good.
Good work, partner. It's always a pleasure to fight by your side. Forgive me for saying this. Don't worry. I'll stick around to raise a glass or two with you. Celebrate our victory. If I stay too long, though, one of these leader types will try to send me on another mission. Sai might not mind, but I'm determined to finally relax a little. Hey, I enjoy saving the world as much as the next hero, but even I have my limits. I want to spend some time with the man I love, traveling and doing anything that doesn't involve hitting somebody with my axe. Initially, not even a little. There are a lot of things I've been meaning to do with Sai that should keep me occupied for a few weeks. And when we do get restless, I have a knack for stumbling into the next threat to the realm. We'll be fine.
In all my years, I have neither seen nor heard of such a miracle as you've delivered.
You've done the Raven Watch proud. I don't suppose you'd accept an assignment to reorder all of Count Verandis' records? No? Well, I can look forward to that later. For now, we celebrate. No, I won't be barricading myself in the library any longer. But someone has to curate our records. Can you imagine Adusa doing it? Or Gwendis? I'll show you the state of her sock drawer sometime. This was quite the adventure, wasn't it? But we survived it, even if it was touch and go there for a bit. Forgive me for being sentimental, but it was you who got me through it. I'll always be grateful for that. Well, I mean it all the same. If there's ever a time when you need someone to be there for you, count on me. Now go on. Everyone wants to talk to you, and I'm only liable to embarrass myself if I keep carrying on.
After everything that's happened, I think I'll enjoy a nice, quiet month of Ravenwatch Castle. Ah, who am I kidding? I'll be lucky if Adusa lets us rest tonight. What's left of the Grey Host may be in shambles, but the leftovers are certain to make trouble elsewhere, even with their Ashen Lord gone. Plus, we'll need to catch up on who else has been up to no good while they hogged our attention. Oh, you'll be the first to read the naughty list when we've got one, trust me. Maybe I'll even tag along, but no caves this time.
This one is not used to being this close to the center of attention. She does not like it. Give Adusa a shadow or dark corner. Celebrations such as these tend to be too bright and noisy for my taste. Does a tiger need to be thanked for killing a terror bird? Adusa Daro does not hunt to be appreciated. She hunts because it is her nature. The only reward this one needs is worthy prey and fresh blood. You think so? That would make this endeavor much more bearable. Perhaps this tiger will linger a while longer. So far, so good. He has skills and a sense of honor that will serve him well. This one hoped to let Gwendis take him under her wing, finish his training. But as usual, the little one sees a toy to play with instead of a brother to assist.
You're the one who killed Rada al-Saran.
If you told me a season ago that the leader of Western Skyrim would share a dais with the Reach King, I would have laughed in your face. But here we are. Not much to rebel against now that Arana has made peace with the Ard. We'll stay long enough to deal with any grey hosts lurking nearby, and then we'll be on our way. Markarth's not the sort of place werewolves should linger in. Too many people. The survivors asked me to be chieftain, but it's time to let the Ghost Song clan go, and begin a new clan with a new name. Better to leave the dark old ways behind. Thinking about the name Longfangs, or Wolf Runners.
returned to life.
I've
By
been looking
Kirsten's hands, I still can't believe it.
Aye, two of my clan among them. Still a kindred dream for all of us. But the pleasant one.
Aye, a pleasant one.
You there?
From which I hope.
You match the description I was given. I have a message for you from Lyris Titanborn. The Titanborn wanted me to find you and tell you she was on her way, but she had something she had to look into first. She said that if you weren't incredibly busy, she could use your help. Mentioned that you had an uncanny knack for solving problems. All I know is she found something at the Reachwind ritual site. It really got her companion excited. They stayed behind and sent me on ahead to deliver the message, which I have done. Now to see if a Nord can buy some mead around here. I need to report in to Jarl Svanna and the rest of the contingent from Western Skyrim. Yes, along with a contingent of Skyrim dignitaries. She figured it was the least she could do since the Grey Host attacked both our realms. Normal. I'm not sure what that is anymore. He's a big red guard, but he looks puny next to Titanborn. Short bones, though doesn't everybody. They say he's some kind of sword master. Or was it a dragon guard? I'm not sure. It's hard to remember anything other than his beard. It's impressive.
Well, what have we here? I thought I was the only one of the Brotherhood out this way. Good to see a friendly face. Might need to grab a God's Blind me together one night, eh? Listen, watch your back. Things are about to get really bad.
Some here find the range of behaviors exhibited by the Reach clans fascinating. I would prefer they all had better manners myself.
I know nothing of games of chance. My clan believes they simply summon bad luck to those playing. One of our number played one just the other day, and we haven't seen her since.
One clan refuses to learn to write. They believe that if they write down a word, they lose power over it. What power do they have over birds now? Or cats? Nobody has power over cats.
Never trusted elf.
Thought I'd seen my brother for the last time. The fell magic just whisked him away. Wish I knew what spirits brought him back to me.
They're rarely so kind, but I won't question it.
Aye, the spirits never give freely. But I'd offer up
You
every
haven't seen my scullery boy around, have you? Always seems to disappear right when there's work to be done. It figures. Nothing in this land ever seems to go the way I'd hope. I can't keep any good help, and Reachmen have the palates of hungry goats. My best efforts are wasted on them. I took a job cooking for the Star Singer clan in Cyrodiil in the days of Emperor Markarth. I'm afraid I got caught up in a clan feud. An assassin crept into my own kitchen to poison a feast I was preparing. I killed the switch with my own cleaver. I did indeed, but grateful. No. Turns out that spilling blood during a feast day is taboo among the Star Singers. I ended up here instead. That's another tale, but enough idleness. Watch yourself there.
Think of my inn's threshold as a boundary of sorts.
My guests leave their quarrels in their